Are you interested in buying a property here in Italy?
And you don't know how to do it?
In today's episode, we will tell you everything you need to know to buy your dream house
here in Italy
as a foreigner.
Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to You Leave Everything and Wander. My name is Luca. This is my wife Sara.
We are in Sicily right now, and after showing on our channel several videos about affordable properties for sale here in Sicily, we received so many questions and emails from people interested in buying properties in Italy, better if affordable, better if we deceive you. So it's impossible to answer to each one of you. That's why we are making this video. We are going through the most common questions and hopefully this can be helpful.
Now, after helping so many people from all around the world buying their property here in Italy, we have the knowledge to share with you all of this information.
I have here some notes that I will be reading to you, and then we will start with the questions. But I think that we need to start with saying that buying a property in Italy is a very controlled and regulated process, is safe, much more formal than in other countries.
Yeah.
With different contractual standards and negotiation codes. Usually there is an offer and acceptance procedure, which is usually followed by an exchange of contracts that it's called compromesso, contratto preliminare, or so it's preliminary contract or pre-contract.
Exactly.
And then the final deed, that is the atto notarile or rogito notarile in front of an Italian notary. The deed is signed, the balance of the money handed over in exchange for the keys, and then the contract, the deed, is recorded in a public land registry. So there are like three important steps. So let's start with the questions. Can a foreigner buy a house in Italy?
Of course. We have seen so many foreigners buying properties and it's sometimes you read online these like nightmares,
Yes.
But actually all of the people we helped was quite smoothly.
As a general rule, Italian law allows people, foreigners, to buy houses in Italy. There are some cases where, for example, the buyer is coming from a sensitive country, but this is like a special case. But like we saw people from Canada, United States, UK, Ireland, South Africa, Poland,
Yes,
much more, Germany, coming and buy houses here in Sicily. So this is
even
possible.
China.
Yes, even China. So this is possible. How difficult is the property purchase process in Italy?
The whole process could take 1 to 2 months.
Yeah.
We have been able to do it in 2 weeks in the extreme case where we had people flying from United States and staying for 2 weeks. So in those 2 weeks we were able to show them the house, to go through everything to the deed,
yes.
and they were able to fly back home already with the keys of the house and being owners. So that was an extreme case,
Yes.
but usually takes from 1 to 2 months.
After choosing the property, because you have to see where do you want to buy the house and choose the location, the area at least. When you choose the property, you hire a public notary to check the property compliance, and you sign the compromesso, that is the preliminary contract, and then you sign the final contract during the notary's deed. So
Yes, it looks easy, but which documents do you need in order to buy the house, to go to the notary and sign a deed?
you will need to present a valid identification document, and then you need to have a tax code. That is very important. That will be kind of your ID here in Italy, and you can obtain it from the tax agency after you book an appointment. You can do also online, but we suggest that you do it in person because it's faster. And sometimes we heard people that they applied online and they waited months for it.
Is a purchase safe and guaranteed here in Italy?
So this is something that we tell every time, that we have a very important figure that is the notary. So the notary acts on behalf of the government. He works for the government, so he It's very safe in Italy. He is not acting on behalf of the seller or on behalf of the buyer, so it's completely neutral. So you have to trust a notary 100%. You're going to pay a fee to the notary together with the taxes. Yes. So I think that it's a very safe process.
Yeah, the notary is working for the government, so he's checking all the documents and making sure that everything is by law and following legal. All the laws and legal. So this is already something that it makes everything safe because he's checking everything. You just need to go through all the documentation and see that everything that you bring to the notary is exactly what it's the house. For example, the floor plans, you need to check that the floor plans that you're seeing are exactly how the house is looking.
They are matching, because sometimes they build, you know, some floors or a new
toilet.
Exactly, and you need to have this in your floor plans, otherwise it's illegal. Otherwise, remember and keep in mind, without all the papers, without the green light from the notary, you cannot even book an appointment for the deed. So it's impossible to buy a house.
So in our experience, we saw few houses that the floor plans weren't matching. Yeah. In that case, the seller needs to go to a technician. It can be an engineer, it can be a surveyor, and they need to update all the plans and all the documentation. In that case, it could take 1 more month. So that's why it can take from 1 to 2 months, but in that case, it can even take 3 months. Yeah. So that's super important to check all the documents in advance.
The responsibility of all these documents, the papers, floor plans, updating everything, the responsibility is of the seller. So you don't need to pay anything for new documents. You just need to go and pay at the notary.
Yeah, but always check yes. Because if you have an agency or somebody working in behalf for you to check everything, they need to check it. If you are discussing and trying to buy without an agency or without somebody working with you, you need to go and check all of these documents.
Yes. So this is also a very common question, and it is, how much does it cost to have a house in Italy? So the taxes, the rubbish, water, electricity, and so on. So, first of all, when you go to the notary, this is the first money together with the deposit that you are going to pay. Usually when you sign the compromesso, you pay the 10% of the value that you decided, you know, the price that you decided with the sellers. So this is like the first money that you are going to pay. At the deed, you will pay the rest, so the total amount. And then you're going to pay the fee for the notary.
Yes.
And then the taxes, the property tax on the house.
Yeah, so basically the notary fee usually is around 1,500 euros, yeah. And the property tax is calculated on the cadastral value. Yes. What is the cadastral value?
If you want, I can read this.
Yes.
So, under Italian law, a property has a legal or tax value, that is valore catastale or cadastral value. This is a value placed on a property by the government and is generally different, you know, from the commercial price.
Yes, in big cities where the value of houses are super high, the cadastral value can be lower than the actual price that you will buy the house. But in other situations, like houses cheaper than 50,000 euros,
like all the houses that we
have been showing
exactly in our videos.
In those cases, the value that you will be paying the house is lower than the cadastral value. But at the deed, the taxes that you will be paying are based on the cadastral value.
Yeah, let's make an example. For example, you are going to pay, you decided, and with the owner you make an offer, and they accept it, you will pay a house 25,000 euro.
Yes.
Okay. When you go to the notary, you will pay his fee, and then you will not pay the taxes on the 25,000 euro, but the notary will check on the visura catastale, on the cadastral document.
And let's say that the value of that house, the cadastral value of that house is around 40,000 euros.
So you will pay on the 40,000 euro, and you will pay just once at the notary, also this amount together with the fee of the notary.
Yes.
Then other expenses that you need to expect to pay during a year living in Italy, for example, other taxes. So the first important tax is the property tax, that is called IMU. What is IMU?
So IMU is always based on the cadastral value.
Yeah.
It's just a percentage that it's that you need to pay each year.
Yes, exactly. You can pay like twice, divided like in twice, two rates,
Yes.
or you can pay just in one tranche. And we don't know, depending on the value of the house, so it's difficult to say how much it would be.
But let's say a house that has a 40,000 euros of cadastral value.
Yeah.
In that case, you are looking to pay around 400 to 500 euros a year.
This is just, approximative, guys. We don't know exactly.
It's also based on the category of the house. We have luxury houses, we have houses in the mountains, we have it can change, like a villa will pay way more than a little house in the middle of nowhere or in the mountains. So it depends also on the category of the house.
But the notary or your accountant can easily calculate this value for you. So IMU, then we have TARI.
TARI is the tax for the garbage. So basically, here in the village, for example, they come every day to pick up the garbage. One day is plastic, one day is glass, one day is paper, one day is organic. So depending on the municipality, you will be charged for this TARI, that is the tax for garbage.
And you will pay this tax once a year. Even that is not the same, every region is different, every municipality is different, depending how many people are living in the house. If
How
you
big
have
is the house?
How big, if you have the residency or not. Usually non-resident people are paying less because they should use the house, of course, less. than people. So this is once a year. So IMU, TARI, then we have water.
So water is once a year, and again, depending on which municipality, each municipality is different, and also like the garbage tax. In this municipality, if you are not residents, it's like 1.2 euro every 1,000 liters.
Exactly, and if you are a resident, it's half, it's
Yes.
60 cents, 1,000 liters.
So you will have a water meter at the entrance of your house, outside your house, so they can go and check every year how much water you used and then send you the bill.
Because here in this municipality, we are receiving water from the municipality. In some towns, some villages, especially if remote, you don't have the water. You have to call somebody with a truck to fill up your tank, but this is a different story.
Yeah, a different story also if you have a spring or if you have a well.
Yes.
But usually if you are in towns, you will be connected to the water, to the municipality water.
And then we have electricity.
Yes, here in Italy you pay electricity every 2 months. And in our experience, in order to reconnect electricity on your first bill, you're looking to pay 90 euros for the first bill, the connection of the electricity. Yeah. And then if you're not using electricity, so basically if you're traveling, we have a lot of taxes on the bills.
The logistic and everything. So even if you're not using electricity, expect to pay something every month.
Yes, let's say
anyways.
30 euros every 2 months. And of course, if you're using electricity, the bill will go up.
But I would say like a 70 euro average per month.
Yes.
Let's say like this.
Yes.
And in winter time, if you're using heaters or if you're using a lot of electrical devices, of course, then the bill is going up.
But it's the same if in summer you're using the AC all day long, again the bill can go way up.
So do I need to open an Italian bank account in Italy if you want to buy a house or if I want to stay in Italy?
Okay, let's start from the purchase of the house. You have two options. One option is to open a bank account and then at the deed make a bank wire directly to the seller.
The other option is that the notary can act as an escrow. You don't trust the owners till you don't receive the keys.
Or you decide not to open a bank account in Italy, so you have to wire the money from your country, and maybe it takes 4 days to the money arrive at the bank, at the bank account of the notary. In that case, you can do the wire, let's say 1 or 2 weeks in advance of the deed.
And the notary will keep any funds, any money in his account, and then after you finalize the deed and you sign the contract and you receive the keys, then the deed will be registered and the money will go to the seller bank account.
Yes, so the notary will wire the money directly to the seller.
So we really like this option, and even the people that are buying houses, they like this option. Not every notary, I think, is giving this option
for free.
For free, but like it's a guarantee, so it's a good option because you know that it's safe. You know, it's like giving money to a bank account, to your bank, to another bank, and you know that the money are safe.
Yes.
But you can go either way, so this is up to you.
Yes, but if you are willing to open a bank account in Italy, it will be convenient if you want to pay all the bills, water, electricity, directly on your Italian bank account. So
yes,
every month, every 2 months, or every year when you have to pay, you can have money on your Italian bank account, and they charge directly on your Italian bank account. Otherwise, if you are not physically in Italy, if you get on your mail the bill, then you need to come in Italy and go pay the bill.
Especially for electricity, I think, because the other taxes, you know, it's just once a year, and it's okay when you're coming here. It's okay to just pay it when
you're here.
When you're here. Another thing that we didn't mention before that is important: the taxes of the property that we are going to pay together with the notary fee at the deed. They change if you are buying the house as first house or a second vacation house. So at least in Italy we have this: if you buy as your first and as your main residence, then you're going to pay less taxes. If you buy the house as a second holiday vacation home, which is probably 95% of the cases of people buying houses, you know, as foreigners, then you have to pay a little bit more.
Yes, also because in the case you are buying as first house, you have to be a resident here in Italy. So you need to live permanently in that house. So if you are a foreigner buying a house for holiday reasons, this is not your case. But if you're interested in opening a bank account in Italy, you will need to have the tax code, the codice fiscale, that you need anyways to purchase the house at the deed, and you will also need an Italian SIM card in order to be able to use your internet banking, because they will be sending you messages every time that you want to log in your internet banking. So that is needed in order to be able
to confirm a transaction, a wire.
Yes.
You receive a code and you have to this OTP code or some codes, you know, for security reasons. And then you have also to find the right bank, because not every bank is opening bank accounts for foreigners.
Yes.
So this is very important. Do the owners sell appliance and furniture with the house? Because this is quite every time people are quite shocked in Italy, because usually the houses they come.
So usually the houses are sold empty.
Yes.
But then there are cases of cheap houses. So if you are looking at houses under, let's say, 40,000 euros, then you need to discuss every time. Usually the price is without the furniture, but in some cases the house is like they are giving everything that is inside. So it's your job, let's say, if you need to throw everything away and empty the house, or keep whatever you want, and find some treasures.
If you really see something that you like, you can ask the owner, you know, can you please sell me also this piece of furniture.
Yeah, so you can make an offer,
yeah.
and the seller can say, okay, if you want to keep the kitchen, or if you want to keep the furniture of the room, I will leave it, but you need to give an offer and talk with the seller.
Can I buy a car if I buy a house in Italy?
So if you are a foreigner and you don't have a residency here in Italy, unfortunately you cannot buy a car. You can rent a car, or you can find a way for somebody else to buy a car and have it on their name, and they have the insurance for also other people driving, but you cannot buy and have your own car and drive your own car here in Italy.
Even if you have the tax code. So the tax code is not allowing you to buy a car. It's allowing you to buy a house, but not a car.
Yes. Something also really important is the language. If you are not working with an agency who speaks and translate everything in English or in your language, it's really important to have somebody who knows the language and can go through all the documents with you and translate, but also the knowledge of doing this kind of process, also to check all the documents, the floor plans, and speak with the buyer, with the owner, and with the notary, everybody. It becomes kind of stressful. Also, always have somebody who can help you to connect the water, the electricity, and go through all those processes, because you will need to deal with people talking only Italian.
You can save a lot of time and effort if you have somebody helping you. So
yes.
Let's say that the process of buying a house in Italy is not such a nightmare, or it's not dangerous as some people say on the internet. You just need to follow all the rules and all the steps.
And
then,
also have somebody you can trust to help you in the process. That it can be a real estate agent, or an agency, or somebody you trust.
A professional translator, or somebody you trust, a friend, somebody that is doing this. So
yeah, somebody who has the knowledge.
Buying a house in Italy is possible, guys. We hope this information will help you. And in the next episode, talking about inexpensive, beautiful, affordable houses in Italy, in this case for us in Sicily, we will be showing you 3 properties.
Under 30,000 euros with the sea view.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
So stay tuned.
We will see you next Sunday, and remember, la vita è bella.
Life is beautiful and
love always wins.
L'amore vince sempre.
See you next Sunday. Ciao ciao.
Ciao beautiful people.
Ciao.